Welcome back to the channel and to the new Park Who Dis contest. Each and every submission gets its own spotlight, and today we are looking at Radyr Valley, the Great Movie Adventure by Winder TV. Today I'm joined by Rellimetep. Relly is a Planet Coaster streamer and very well known member of the community. Although he was unable to submit a park, Relly was a participant and featured streamer during the contest. Hello Relly.
Moon Soxers, I live and breathe. How are you, sir?
It's really me.
It is. Who'd have thought of seeing you here on your own channel?
I know. I fancy bumping into you here. How are you, sir?
No. Oh, very well, mate. Very well. All the better for hearing you again.
Oh, too kind, too kind. So, Winder says, the Great Movie Adventure is a celebration of my favourite adventure movies from my childhood. There are 13 rides, including Transport Ride, each with their own music and media associated. Included in the 13 is a bonus ride entitled The Winder Adventure, where the riders get to go on a journey through the Winder streams. I hope you enjoy. Well, I think at this point, after all of the update videos, there's no denying that we all know who Winder is at this point.
Certainly. And yeah, as if he wasn't getting enough promotion from those update videos, why not throw a ride in for it as well? I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely. The official Winder self-promo coaster. But yeah, jokes aside, huge thanks to Winder, yourself, and everyone else who was a featured streamer.
Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I think everyone would say the same thing in that it's been an absolute pleasure doing this movement, so thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, starting with piece count. 28,742. Now, so this is what's really intriguing about this park, because I've had quite a bit of difficulty with performance with this park.
Yes.
It turned out a large portion of that was the 150, 200 plus screens he had running at one time. So that was one issue.
The inimitable amount of custom media, but I
Yes.
must admit I am shocked at that piece count.
Yeah.
Obviously, we knew that the media had affected performance, but still.
Exactly.
So the degree that it has.
And I'm still not getting a completely smooth experience, which is very bizarre for less than 30k piece count. So I don't know what Winder's done here. So in true Winder fashion, under the park variation, he put, I don't know. So don't worry, Winder. I went to the effort for you to find out your park variation, which is Foxtrot, which means we've got the Cascade Coaster, the Go-karts, the 360 Power, and the Zozo, giving us the adventure theme. We've, of course, got at least one coaster. We've got a dark ride in the form of this wonderful looking mummy ride over here. The Swan, the infamous Swan.
Yes, this isn't the point of contention at all.
No. That Winder begged to smash a hole in the side of. Is the hole still there? It is.
The hole is still
there. We go. But looking like it was very much worth it. The Swan is there.
I was going to say we might let him off with this. He might get a bit of a roasting when we come to look at this properly, but... Yeah, he can't argue with the result.
Exactly, but at least our listed building is still in position. And here we are down on the ground, and what better entrance from Winder TV than a giant TV? Look at this.
It's absolutely perfect, isn't it? I mean, if you're going to do something, go all in on it and do it to this kind of quality. It's such an original idea. I love it. I'm going to be taking the mick out of him all the way through this, don't get me wrong. But to give him credit straight off the bat, what an original idea, not just for the blatant self-promotion, but the concept of the park, essentially turning an adventure park into a studio park.
Yes.
Love that idea.
And we've got his, this is his starting soon music, is that right?
Yes, written by Winder, performed by Winder. It's maybe a little bit self-serving in total, this one. But no, other than that, Winder is known for its musical endeavours and is very, very talented with it. So, yeah, fair play to him for going to that extra mile for this.
Okay, into the TV we go. Lovely stuff. We've got some stroller rental.
Very clean.
This, as featured in the update video, was Winder trying to palm off this as his own idea, which was in fact Shammy's. So we'll give credit to Shammy.
Yeah, I saw Shammy do this first. Yeah, completely.
Yeah, definitely. So take the credit away from Winder for that one. But some lovely lockers over this side.
Really nice, crisp, clean entranceway. Yeah. Very nice work with that.
Oh, look at that.
Obviously not changed anything. Oh, bless.
That's lovely. But anyway, we're not leaving, we're arriving. So here is our entrance plaza and some beautiful sightlines here already.
Amazing work, isn't it? Coaster going past and lovely rustic buildings in place there. Really good use of like just a small bit of height right off the bat just to kind of block off the sight lines and kind of keep everything as much as a surprise as what I'm sure we're going to have as we explore this place.
Absolutely. We've got the original hole from the dive coaster being reutilised, so that's lovely to see, keeping elements of the previous park. But I mean, in terms of...
Nice and safe for any staff coming out the back of that building there.
Yes. Just shimmy their way around, they'll be fine.
Mind the step, Dave!
Yes. Okay, so to our left we've got the Wilderness Hotel, or Gwesti as it is in Welsh. It's looking wonderful, all overgrown with the roots. So we've got Jumanji the Ride, so the first film of many films we are about to see references to. So yes, very excited for this. Is this our entrance? That's the exit, isn't it? So yeah, entry here. Mynedfa.
Yeah.
That's one word I can say.
Mynedfa. There we go. There we go. I've learnt some Welsh. Marvellous.
There we go. And into our nice covered queue. So, oh, we got a fast pass as well.
Very nice.
I've only seen that a couple of times during the contest, actually. Great stuff. Lovely cattle pen, custom fencing. So utilising the previous station from before, just recladding it, redesigning it into the adventure theme. Got a nice staff entrance into the operator's booth, I assume this is. Yep. Lovely stuff.
And again, we've mentioned this before, the cladding on the bars there, separating out the holding bays, very nice.
Yeah, I love that colour palette there as well.
Yeah, very natural, very fitting for the theme of the ride. Oh, and it's in RMC, lovely.
Here we go. This is, I think this is our coaster we're just looking at that goes down the old dive hole. So yeah, excited for this one.
Ah, yes, it is.
Let's hop on.
6 years ago, we started playing a little game. Now, we're all gonna sit down, we're gonna finish it.
Well, what great fun that was. And even though the custom music for that was mostly in-game music, just using that small clip from the film at the beginning, it just sets you up ready for the coaster.
Very impressive to do. Love that. And what an ambitious coaster as well to fit into a park of this scale.
Absolutely.
RMCs are normally absolute monsters, and that fills everything that you'd want from that kind of ride in such a small space.
It does.
So yeah, very clever work.
It also doesn't waste any space. Like it's not taking any real estate away from the park.
Oh, and the hole that was there for the original dive coaster, we actually came vertically up out of, as opposed to diving into it. Yeah. Very impressive kind of original take on how to use that. Very good.
And as I was just looking at there, lovely bits of detailing on the service road. Makes it all that bit more realistic. So that was Jumanji, and as we exit, we've got photos and bags.
Very realistic, very nicely done, nicely integrated into the queue exit. Where
definitely, and a great shot of the coaster as you come off as well. Here, we've got Around the World in 80 Days. That doesn't sound like it's playing anything. There we go, lovely stuff. Pop that back down. But yeah, great theming, and just a perfect match for this ride.
Yeah, fantastic. And it's, for me personally, it brings back a lot of nostalgia. It's based this on the animated series from like late 80s, early 90s of Phileas Fogg's Around the World in 80 Days.
Yeah.
And yeah, I used to love that. So to see someone remember that and show it a bit of love is just very, very nice for me. But for the context of this, just the integration of it is fantastic. It's a very hard one to skin because of the little crook at the top of the strut that the ride actually lifts and lowers down.
Yeah.
So that's integrated very well.
Yeah, really nice work. So just coming back around the other side of the hotel, we've got Labyrinth, our second movie reference.
You remind me of the Babe Moomin. Fantastic stuff.
Tree, let's just have a little wander down here to what is, I want to say a kickflip?
Yes, it is indeed. Now, I'm just wondering, has he gone to the effort of making this an actual maze?
Well, let's see. Do I get lost? It's clever. It's like it gives the impression of the maze going off in different directions, but if you actually want to follow the cue, you know where you're going, which is which is great.
What an impressive way to actually integrate the main theme of the movie into a ride that wouldn't naturally kind of apply itself to it very well. But excellent work with that. Love that. And I know he had a struggle building this using the that technique of taking an off-grid piece, rotating it, and then using a gridded piece to get these obscure angles and everything.
Sure.
It's not something that I've seen used a lot, and do it so well to get like one of the more iconic scenes from the film done at this level is very impressive. He's certainly a talented lad, is that Winder, no matter how much we go on about him.
Completely agree. And wonderful use of the custom media in there as well. And all that for a kickflip. Big fan of that. But behind us, we've got our cascade themed, I don't think there's any doubt, to Jurassic Park. And look at this.
I mean, I think this for me is the key word for this park is ambition. I'm really looking forward to this one. I've purposefully avoided any kind of real spoilers for this just to wait for this showcase.
I'm enjoying that the entrances are very clearly marked. That's something that's not often done very well, but so important for these tours for me to navigate my way around.
It just makes exploring someone else's park so much easier. I often say this, and by the time that you've built it, you know your own park like the back of your hand, but you've got to think of like what it's like in the hands of someone else.
Exactly. Okay, it's time for Jurassic Falls.
Just a delay. That's all it is. All major theme parks have delays. When they opened Disneyland in 1956, nothing worked.
Yeah, but John, if the Pirates of the Caribbean breaks down, the pirates don't eat the tourists.
T-Rex doesn't want to be fed, he wants to hunt.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Well, another fine example of taking the in-game music and then merging it with all those clips from the movie as well.
How well timed they were as well, like that splashdown with the Welcome to Jurassic Park, using the audio clips on like the lift hills especially, just so that that kind of normally quite dull time had something to entertain you. Obviously the theming is fantastic. It told the story and tied very well in. But one thing that I absolutely adored was, as we're going so far through this, we're actually going through, I want to say, a section of Big Bite.
Yes, I was just going to talk about that, yeah.
I love it when you have this kind of interaction with the ride and either a seating area, a viewing platform, or like a restaurant as it is here.
It would be so easy just to rip out the whole thing and kind of rebuild it. You can see here, this along here is all exactly the same from the Big Bite previously.
Yeah, it's all original.
So it's all very much integrated as it would be in reality. So, and I want to say, obviously we'll do a flyover later at night, but let's have a little look at this now. For our interior, look at this.
Beautiful work.
So atmospheric.
Yeah, how much character does that add to both the ride, but also the restaurant?
Yeah, just
very
imagine
nice.
being up here, having some food, and then you get a wonderful glimpse at the cascade as it comes through. And speaking of Big Bite, here we are outside with this lovely sign. Yeah, again, just a beautiful way of reusing this venue and merging it with the cascade. But I'm very much drawn to this cave we've got going on over here underneath the cascade. Oh wow. Hello there.
Ooh. Oh, I'm wondering, is this the route to Barad-dûr?
I
Is
believe
that
it
Sheila
is.
the spider there?
Again, I'm going to need you here, really, because my knowledge of Lord of the Rings is not good.
Basically, this is going to be the tower where the big bad of it is essentially residing in his incorporeal form. Hence the big eye at the top. That's a representation there of Sauron.
Right.
And yeah, I believe this is a drop tower, is it not? And what effort has gone into this?
I was going to say all this for a drop tower. Let's head down and find out. But yeah, my goodness, what a queue for what is just a flat ride.
It's not just a flat ride when it's been done to this degree, though. This is an entire experience.
Absolutely. There we go. It's the Screaminator. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'd be interested to just nip up to the top of this, actually, and see what kind of views we get from up there, because this is a big ride.
Very true.
How's that?
Amazing.
Oh, lava effects and everything. Yeah, that's one of the more impressive ride skins that I've seen myself personally in the contest so far.
Just going back to what I said before, I absolutely adore it when people go this far into detailing a flat ride. It's a whole section of the park on its own. So it's just incredible. Moving on to our next flat ride, the 360 Power, one of the chosen rides, and look at this.
Absolutely spectacular. I love Kong up there. Lovely intricate building for the Empire State, using a bit of forced perspective there with the upper levels getting shorter and shorter to give it that impression of height.
I'm up here now. Okay, never mind.
Oh, we're on the Black Gate. We're getting a better view of Kong from the Black Gate. I've mentioned before about this one being one of the more imposing rides. If you just kind of leave it, it kind of dominates the sight lines. Other people have kind of hidden that well with the surrounding theming. Winder's done that with this massive skin, and to have it kind of smashing through the building, being attacked by Kong, unbelievable idea and execution, I'd say, on this.
Completely agree. Okay, so just behind King Kong, we've got Revenge of the Mummy. Beautiful facade, and we've got a coaster coming through it as well.
The amount that's been crammed in here is unbelievable. The variety as well. Obviously, we've just mentioned we've had jungle, we've had fantasy, we've had a cityscape, and now going into Egypt. It would be very easy for all of this to kind of not gel very well together. But like I say, it really gives that kind of studio vibes, I think, where just anything can happen and it works.
Never seen this piece before. Might keep that one.
Very good.
Okay, reusing the original queue line. So instead of just ripping it all out, as we saw in, I think, the very first update video, Winder struggling his way through this,
Bless him.
taking every piece out. But it's so worth it when you come back in. And as the park goer of Radyr Valley, coming back and going, oh, I recognise this, but it's all rethemed now.
That just perfectly kind of fits the spirit of the contest, in that it was a rebrand, so you did want to see these glimpses of Radyr Valley.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a feeling he's kept the layout as well, which is something that I've really loved when people do that. But it's time for our dark ride, The Mummy.
Many men have wasted their lives in foolish pursuit of power and trouble. Most will never return.
Dead.
So what's it say?
Amunde suea harum maktub sin mas ibet baya. Imat bin supike sit suea
No! You must run away from the book!
We are in serious trouble.
You have unleashed the creature that we have feared for more than 3,000 years. It is the bringer of death. He will never stop.
Well, this, for me, just ticked every box. It kept the original layout of the ride. It kept to a similar budget and scale as the BFG had. And it kept the little glimpses of show building that I absolutely adore. As we were coming through this last room here, get this glimpse of the chipboard here, which...
Yeah.
So for me, and in the interaction with all the effects and the animatronics timed so perfectly, and the audio again, obviously at this point goes without saying. But
yeah, completely. The effort that's gone on, that was fantastic. What I really enjoyed with this myself, from like a themer's point of view, is having a look at what is available to you, having a think as to what you think could be, and just pulling it off so elegantly. All it takes is a few mummies, a few of those scarabs kind of going about, and like some of the adventure pieces, and you've got the story right there. So it's just been a case of, right, I have these tools available for me to kind of do something. What can I do with it? And it's worked fantastically.
Yeah. So I just went through Windows user media, and I cannot find anything that resembles Indiana Jones. So don't think it's in there, unfortunately, but we can imagine. It says Indiana Jones.
Yeah, exactly. We all know that classic Indiana Jones font.
Exactly. So Indiana Jones and the Serpent's Curse, and once again, very clear entrance. Oh, I love this.
Lovely, elegant fencing. Again, fast pass there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so we went through the fast pass. Let's take the longer route. Nice emergency exit.
Yeah. Lovely bit of clutter there as well.
This is so...
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, just lovely views of the tracks, but just so immersive. All of this is just so snug.
Safety taken into account there, and I love this. I did actually see him putting this little bit to the right end when he was building. Obviously, on busy days, you quite often in a long queue have a little food and drink store, which is what the shutters are there.
That's great, yeah.
I want to say he actually put that in specifically just to cover up the attendant that would normally be on the fast pass.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's really smart.
Lovely little touch.
Great detail. Up into the station, and what do we have here?
Oh, we have ourselves is that the Infinity. Yes, it is.
Looking forward to this. Here is Indiana Jones.
Short route. Step on it.
Okie dokie, Dr. Jones. I want your potato. Hey, Dr. Jones. No time for love. We got company.
There's nothing to fear here.
Excuse me. Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Listen, caller.
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
Fortune and glory. Wowie, what an adventure that was.
I absolutely adored that. Very clever interpretation of what can be done with a coaster model like this. Obviously, there's your classic elements for your Gerschlauers, your rickety inversions, your twisty turns and that. But what really impressed me with this is the manipulation of what it can actually be used for. You're seeing elements that you wouldn't naturally see on these kind of rides to create the pacing that you needed with like the launch sections at the right time, overbanking to such a degree that you're getting views that you wouldn't normally be able to see. As a coaster goes, it is not realistic, but as an adventure and a storytelling experience goes, that is top tier to me.
Completely agree. It felt like we were in an Indiana Jones movie, flying through these temples. As you said, all of the very unusual banking elements, especially this one here around the side of this temple, was incredible. And the timing with these traps was spot on.
Unbelievable.
That must have taken a few attempts to get that right, I imagine.
I know Winder is a builder, and he is more than happy, well, maybe not happy, but he's more than prepared to put a ride down like this, and if it isn't working out, completely rip it apart and rebuild it to then force it to do what he wants. And I think that's been done here.
Fantastic immersive coaster and incredible track length, great interaction.
And well hidden again. Like we said with the Tower of Orthanc, that is a huge ride, but because it's back in the corner, you've got that huge show building for the mummy to the left there. Literally, what can you see?
You can't see any of it.
Amazing.
None of it. So yeah, brilliant surprise. Okay, so it's time, everyone.
Oh god.
For the Winder adventure.
Here we go. Kept this very, very secretive, and yeah, fair play to him for being, again, as ambitious as what he has been with this. It's not easy to even just keep within the time frame to the budgeted rides that you had to put in, but to pack so much in and this dense and so well themed. Just fair play, hats off to you, Winder.
Oh goodness, we're going through Winder's imagination.
Oh, are you sure this is
This
suitable
could
for
take us
YouTube?
anywhere. We shall see.
I dread to think.
Without further ado, the long-awaited Winder adventure.
Winder's words of wisdom. What does it weigh?
What does it weigh?
Come to Winderland, Europe's leading theme park experience.
Party, party, and the disco, baby. Schnitzel and schnapps at sunset. This is good, yeah?
Catch you on the flip.
It's a bit weird, like, it was such a fantastic experience, but the whole time I couldn't help but feel like it felt like an obituary for Winder.
Yes, this is a shrine to his memory, bless him. I moderate for Winder on his streams, so literally everything that we went through there is what I experience on a nightly basis, so it's as much a delve into my psyche these days as it is Winder's. But no, it's such an interesting idea, very well executed, just covering everything that he gets up to, and a huge amount of self-promo. I don't know if we should ban him for that, but
Absolute banned completely,
exactly
disqualified from the contest.
That's the normal rule on Twitch, at least. I don't know how it transfers over to YouTube.
Yeah. Jokes aside, incredible ride that would have taken him so much time. You can see how much the park this takes up.
Exactly, yeah. It's filled up the complete underside of this back half, and probably even more.
Yeah. Now, next to us, of course, we have the infamous Swan that is now Rainforest Cafe.
Lovely. I do love the fact that he's put this, put the Winder experience right next to such a point of contention from like the streaming side of things. But yes, we took the mick all the way through the build process of this particular hole in the wall here, which you specifically said no, don't do. But here we are, and to be fair to him, it's worked.
Exactly, as we we're going to say, it was absolutely worth it. Whether or not a listed building can have a window installed is up in the air, and it obviously depends on the degree of listing, which was never specified. So I'll cut him some slack, as you said. This is a beautiful view out of here, and I love this bar as well.
Oh yes, I'd be rocking up at that myself for a cocktail after a few coasters in the park. Lovely interior work in this. Absolutely. I don't know if you've ever been to a Rainforest Cafe yourself, Moomin, but this is exactly what I expect from having been in several of them. Absolutely.
Yes, I've not been to one, but I absolutely know the aesthetic, and this is better, if anything, because the impression I get from most Rainforest Cafes is it's very artificial, whereas this looks very natural.
Yeah.
And behind us we have Mowgli's Dodgems.
Hey.
All completely underground and clad, hiding all of the
the horrible neon lights on this. Very good stuff.
And of course, there's Bagheera.
Bless him. He could have just got a cat and recolored it, but you know.
He could, but it was such an iconic moment during the process.
Exactly. Such a funny touch, bless him. Love it.
Yeah, custom control booth and everything. Wonderful stuff all around. And as you said, we've got Pirates of the Caribbean, which is an entire area of the park. So let's head up through this wonderful pirate shantytown.
Obviously, we've seen a lot of pirate parks in the build process of this, and this area is on a par with some of the ones that I've seen on that. We even have the entrance to the gondola ride there as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't actually ever think about where the start and end of the chairlift was, but here it is. And here's the shop that he did everything in his power to get into there.
Panko, I win.
Yes, I win. You did win, Winder. Well done. But let's head up here to what should be our go-karts. Time for me to win another race. Of course I'm going to win, of course.
Of course you are.
I feel confident.
You should.
And I'm excited for this track, actually.
The amount of dressing that's gone on the side of this. Poet as well put quite a lot of effort into hers.
She did indeed.
Very, very lush. Lots of little detailings. Only a short track, so it minimises the amount that you have to do, but that, on the other hand, has meant that you can focus on it. So, yes, very clever work.
Indeed. Was that my win? That
was your win. Victory lap now, Moons. Yeah, beautifully nestled just into all of the buildings there. Again, like we've said with so many of these rides, the actual track on this, or like the structure of the rides themselves, have been hidden so well with such dense theming. And it's, for me, it's the simple things done just perfectly well. You know, there's nothing overkill about this. Absolutely love it.
We can't ignore the fact that he has done a back to the entire thing.
He said he was thinking about doing this. I didn't know if he'd have the nerve to do it or not. But yeah, well done, Winder. Well done.
If he was doing that to win me over, I am consider me won over. And across the bridge, which has been wonderfully maintained, obviously has the Winder Adventure underneath it. So utilising the bridge once again. But around the corner, we've got this wonderful Wizard of Oz.
This is magnificent. I love the texture that he's got on those, like the archway going up there. I don't know what piece it is that he's used for that.
I assume this is a whole piece, yeah. Wizard of Oz arch. Great reutilisation of this and adding his own custom assets to it.
Yeah, completely.
So not just replacing TMTK, it's actually integrated into his own work as well. Of course, the actual Zozo itself in this massive hay bale.
I'm loving the custom yellow brick road there, leading up from the queue line actually onto the ride.
Yeah.
Very nicely done. I'm noticing like the newspaper effects to kind of give that kind of image of motion and whatnot that you get from like the actual hurricane itself.
I just noticed that.
Oh no!
There she is.
Oh, what a world! What a world!
But yeah, so many references to the film packed into here because, as you're saying, the fluttering newspapers probably reference to the tornado at the start of the film.
Yes.
Completely immersive area of the park that just you're engulfed in the movie reference that he's going for. And I think the same applies to every single ride in this park. But there we go. Whilst we are experiencing the park from above, Relly, what are your final thoughts?
Well, what a level of imagination on this. That's what's really my takeaway from it. It's obviously Winder got the adventure theme, which is very easy to just go, right, temples, old Aztec kind of stuff, throw a bit of jungle in there, jobs are good, and that would have been perfectly acceptable. But to kind of take that concept of, no, I'll have all of my favourite adventure films, make all of those completely different featured attractions, blend everything together as well as what it has been, pull it off as well as what it has been done, is no mean feat. Highly impressed. Obviously, I know Winder is a very good friend of mine, so I am biased, but no matter who had done this, how can you not be impressed by the score and the execution of something like this?
Exactly. Even though Winder was such a key feature of the contest, it doesn't take away from the fact that, like, all of his jokes aside, he's an incredible builder, and this is just an absolute work of art and a true insight into all the things that he loves. And you can see that his passion has come out here, and like overall, like, so ambitious. He knew how ambitious it was at the beginning, and he just kept adding and adding and adding, and this is the result. And it's just an incredible park.
Nice, very, very subtle lighting. I think if he'd have gone the opposite way and had each of the rides like highly lit to kind of suit the theme better, that would have made it overly garish. So I think he's made the right move here.
Absolutely, each section is lit appropriately. Like, you've got the vibrancy of the green and the yellow here for Oz, but then you come over to the pirate section and it's all these lovely pastel soft colours.
Yeah, exactly. More like a torch glow and things like that, and same with the up lighting on the mummy building there. Yeah,
every area has been lit appropriately, not just the same across the board. So overall, just a simply incredible park. And I'd just like to take this opportunity to say a massive, massive thank you to Relly. This is our last spotlight, both recording-wise and release-wise. So a fitting end. So thank you, Relly.
No, Moomin, thank you. It has been such a joy not only to do these spotlights with you, but even though I know I couldn't get the park finished before the deadline, the entire build process was an absolute joy. It rekindled something in me that I'd started to lose a bit in Planco, to be honest with you. So I can't thank you enough for that. And obviously getting to know you over the course of this has been lovely as well. So it's just an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, sir.
It's been my absolute pleasure and a delight. Make sure to keep tabs on your favourites ready for the public vote after all submissions have been showcased. Don't forget to like this video, not only to support me, but to show some love to today's creator. Catch you in the next one.